Bronsted acid and bases.
Before we proceed to our presentation, here's a little song about acids and bases composed by Jam Campus.
Okay. Arrhenius. It's a pH scale for solution whose an acid or base. Tell the levels of hydrogen ions present. Acids have more hydrogen ions, H plus concentration like a lemon. It tastes pretty sour, probably like a level 2 on the pH. Give it a test, initials red on the limit 0 to 7 acidic hydrogen ion for liquid and moving over to the blue litmus. It's a base with a taste, slippery fluid. Hydroxide ions, oh it's fine as success. Like a product for your drain, need an unclog and homie. Another name for a base, saccharide pH range from 8 to 14. High ions in a base have a hydroxide like toothpaste, soap, cleaning products like iron. And when a base and acid mix and neutralize, H plus and OH minus combined, turn it into plain water. H2O plus on the side is a salt, for example sodium chloride.
Some bases, mix them up with acids and what it makes is salt and water, don't forget what the pH is. A measure of hydrogen ion concentration in an aqueous. Neutralize reaction, some water from acid and base. Neutralize reaction, neutralize reaction, neutralize reaction, some water from acid and base. Neutralize reaction, neutralize reaction.
You probably have heard of acids and bases used in your everyday life, but in this video, we'll be digging much deeper into the definition of acids and bases. We'll be focusing on the one it is most typically used definition of acids and bases, which is the Bronsted-Lowry definition of acids and bases.
A little background check on this definition. In 1923, Johannes Nicholas Bronsted and Thomas Martin Lowry proposed an acid-base reaction independently. What does this theory, which has now become a definition, means? Let's find out.
Bronsted-Lowry theory is an acid-base reaction theory which was proposed independently by Johannes Nicholas Bronsted and Thomas Martin Lowry in 1923.
Bronsted argued that all acid-base reactions involve the transfer of an H+ ion or proton. Bronsted-Lowry's definition for acids and bases states that any substance that donates a proton or an H ion is an acid, and any substance that receives a proton or H ion is a base.
So what do you think is the relationship between acids and bases? Indirect relationship. So what happens to the substances after the transfer of the protons? They become conjugate bases and acids. The conjugate acid is a substance that gains an H atom or a proton and gains a plus charge. The conjugate base is a substance that loses an H atom or a proton and gains a negative charge. You may think it is confusing because why are they all reversed after transferring the hydrogen atom? Well, Mr. Jurado will answer that.
Let us use this example to make it easier to understand. You see, in this formula, hydrochloric acid is an acid that gives a hydrogen ion to the base, which is water, that we all know is neither acid nor base. What do you think happens to the H2O base when a hydrogen and a plus charge is added to it? It becomes a hydronium, which is a very strong acid. And what do you think happens to the leftover chlorine? Well, it obviously becomes a base. And that is why they are the other way around. In simpler words, acid becomes conjugate base and base becomes conjugate acid.
Let's proceed in its application in our everyday life. Bases and acids in medicine. With the knowledge of Bronsted and Lowry's theories, we can treat patients through the kidney and lungs, which plays a significant role in the current medical fields of society. The kidney work with the human body to maintain a specific pH level, but we can also maintain or change pH levels with the help of medication. The normal pH of the human body is 7.365. But due to its extreme sensitivity, even a small change in pH can have an impact on an individual through the metabolism of the organelle mitochondria in human cells. The mitochondrion converts nutrients and molecules from digested food into ATP energy. However, this process will be impacted and our body's metabolism will become disorganized by even a small pH change. pH level of human blood must be maintained at a range of 7.35 to 7.45 because otherwise the metabolic processes won't function properly and the proper amount of oxygen won't be transferred to the tissues. Acidosis and alkalosis are conditions that indicate an excess of acidity or basicity in the blood. When the pH falls below 7.35, it is called acidosis. This condition can be brought on by a rise in the body's acid production. The consumption of substances that are metabolized to acids, a decrease in acid excretion or a rise in base excretion. An excess of base alkaline in the blood above the pH level of 7.45 is referred to as alkalosis, and it can be brought on by base intake, increased acid excretion, or decreased base excretion. And by increasing the removal of excess acid base from the body, stability can be restored.
In the society, by the understanding of Bronsted-Lowry theory, we can observe and understand the chemical reactions that occur between acidic and basic compounds, and how the pH level is affected. This understanding has been good for the development of society in forms of health care. However, the knowledge of acids and bases has not only helped us in the medical fields, but also contributed to society as a community. For example, medicine, cleaning products, food, and environment. In the topic acids and bases, medicine, it is stated the knowledge of acids and bases has helped us develop different ways to treat different types of conditions and diseases by the help and research of acids and bases. Therefore, we are capable of treating and saving people's lives. Acids and bases has also affected society in form of climate and biodiversity factors and change of nature. By using a pH meter, we can indicate what pH the soil has in a precise habitat, and based on this information, determine how autotrophs are affected and repeatedly affect other animal in the ecosystem food webs. Therefore, factors that cause the pH in soil to change are acid rain, which is caused by chemical reaction from release of sulfur dioxide or nitrogen oxides into the air. These substances react with water and oxygen and will later rain down on the soil or in the sea. Though the understanding of how it reacts proves that it is not only the ecosystem which is affected but also the environment in the form of global warming. However, today we can prevent this, for example, using limestones to neutralize the sea back to normal H2O. We can restore ecosystem and environment.
In a modern society, we can determine how to cure pH-related conditions by the different acid-base theories, but also help society in form of climate. Therefore, the Bronsted-Lowry theory has a great impact on the society we today live in. As much as acid and bases are beneficial to today's society, they are also quite dangerous. Acids can eat away at people's teeth, enamel, which protect your teeth, and once you lose the enamel, it is gone for good. Bases can be bitter, and most bases are actually poisonous to humans if indulged, which is a safety hazard for unsupervised children. Also, it has shown that acids and bases in high concentrations have a negative effect on bean germination, so we must be careful when reading the pH scale. Otherwise, we could be doing something wrong to the plant and hazardous plants and or food may be planted and eaten by us.
That concludes our presentation. Thanks for watching.